Back everyone to the Hello World Guide. This is another episode of the Advanced C++ SFML game series in which we are creating an advanced Mario game, and in this video we are going to give Mario the ability to collect coins. Now the way we are gonna do that is that when we are, for example, colliding with an object like a coin, then we want to of course check if the thing that we are colliding with is a coin, and if it is, then we want to increment some kind of variable and also destroy that coin. So for now what we are going to do is if our fixture data is null when we are checking for our contact here, then we are just going to return, so that we don't have to do this in every if statement. So now we are going to check if our data type is equal to fixture data type object, and then we should be able to get our data's object. And do not forget to make sure that you include the object header up here, and yeah, that should work pretty well if we actually include that. And yes, that works, but the problem here is that well, we have got this, but you might be tempted to, for example, use dynamic cast. So you can dynamically cast this to a coin, and if the cast fails, that means this is not a coin. If it succeeds, it means this is a coin. But dynamic casting is actually very performance heavy, and while it might not make that big of a difference for a small game, we are going to use a better approach. We are going to go under our object and add in a another attribute in the object called tag. So each object will have a tag, and for the coins we will make the tag be coin, so it's just going to be a single string representing that. And in here what we are going to do, we are going to make sure its tag is equal to coin, and if that is the case, then we are going to increment the coins variable. And this coins variable, I have created a coins variable inside of here which will be 0 by default, and each time we collect a coin we'll increase this. But we don't have any UI yet, so we'll just log it to the console. So we'll say std : cout, and we'll say coins is equal to, and we'll say plus coins. The reason we put the plus before is so that we increment the coins first and then get the value. That would give us the updated value and not the outdated value. If we were to put the plus after, and it will give us whatever coins is, and then it would increase that, and that would be wrong. So let's go ahead and do that. And yes, that works pretty well, I guess. And yeah, that should work. By the way, we actually did something wrong here. We are supposed to do this inside of begin contact, not end contact. So yeah, I'm going to move this from here actually to here. Yeah. So once we begin contact, if it is a coin, then we are going to increment our coins that we have got. And currently the problem is that in coin we don't actually have a body yet, or basically any kind of physics thing here. So we need to do that in order to make it work. It's giving an error about position, which it should not, considering that position is defined here. So yeah, that's a bit of a weird kind of error here. So yeah, that's probably some IntelliSense issue. So if I were to compile this, let's see if that works or not. If it does not work, then it's an error. You can see it does work. It was just IntelliSense kind of malfunctioning. And yes, this does work, but of course it won't actually do that because the collisions won't even register, considering that currently we don't have a body yet. So if I were to go up here and collide with the coin, nothing happens because currently this coin does not have a physics body. So let's go ahead and implement that. So I've gone ahead and create a b2 body pointer body in coin.h here, and in coin.cpp I am basically going to copy and paste the code from creating the map tile here. Yeah, just copy and paste that. And for the position set, we are of course going to say position.x and position.y, and you want to make sure that you include the shape and fixture headers, or else it would cause problems. And we will not set map x and map y, of course, but we will set the object pointer to this, and we will set the data type to fixture data type : object. And remember, we have already set the tag correctly. For the size, you might say 0.8, but since it's supposed to be half size, we will say 0.4. And that works, but we want to actually make sure we include polygon shape and not just shape, and that's going to work. And we also need to make this a sensor, because this is only for overlap testing and not for actually doing any real collisions. Coin is just there for that. And yeah, that works. And if I were to run this should work, but you'll see a bit of a problem with this. So if I were to go ahead and compile and run this, you can see it works. And what we need to do here is that our coin will increment, but so if I were to run this, you can see that if I go ahead and touch this coin, it says coin is equal to 1, 2, 3. The reason it does it 3 times is because Mario has 3 fixtures on him, and the second problem is that this coin just stays there, and we can kind of keep doing this as many times as we like. So there is no limit to how much we collect this coin. So we can collect the same coin over and over again, and that's a bit of a problem. What we want is that these coins, the ones that we have collected, should be destroyed. They should be removed from the game world. So how can we go ahead and implement that? That is very simple. In game.h I have added a new function called delete object, which takes a pointer to an object, and in mario.cpp what we do is after we have done this, we basically say delete object. After we have collided with a coin, we delete the coin, and for the actual implementation we just go ahead and create a const iterator called it and set it to find it short for iterator, and we find and for the range we just say objects.begin and objects.end, since we want to find from the whole, and we find this until we find the object, and if this is not equal to the end, which means it was actually found, then we'll erase it. So let's go ahead and run this and see if it works or not. Hopefully it should work, and we should be able to have our coin picking functionality working. So what you should see is that as soon as I go here and I collect this coin, it actually disappeared, but before it did that, it registered 3 events. So you can see it says coin is equal to 1, 2, 3. So I go ahead and collide with it again, and even though I have collided with this only once, it actually registered it as multiple events. And the problem is that it does not actually delete the thing that we have got here, which is the physics body. So that's still present at that location. The physics body is not deleted, which is of course a bit of a problem. So fixing that is not too difficult. What we can do is in coin.cpp, when we can basically create a destructor here. So we are gonna have to create a destructor, and in that destructor what you'll need to do is you'll basically need to call delete body function on the physics world, and that is an exercise that I'm leaving up to you, and if you are stuck on it, then I'll also show the solution in the next video. But for this video, this is pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe as well, and bye.